It's been a while since I've recorded any videos. I've been pretty busy with schoolwork. So today I'm going to take the 16 personalities test. And basically that what that is it it puts you on a scale according to four different letters representing different traits, like I think it's introverted versus extroverted, intuitive versus sensing, thinking versus feeling, and perceiving versus judging, which I can't exactly remember the meaning of all that right now, but the letters I got the last time I've taken this test was INFP, or the mediator, and that may have changed. I don't know how consistent this test is, and plus I've been having anxiety and I've been in quarantine for like a year. So, without further ado, let's take this test. You enjoy vibrant social events with lots of people. Not really, they give me anxiety, but I do enjoy an event like that, and I can be fun sometimes, and it's been a while since I've seen people, so I'm gonna lightly disagree. You often spend time exploring unrealistic yet intriguing ideas all the times, and sometimes it gives me anxiety. Your travel plans are more likely to look like a rough list of ideas than a detailed itinerary. Yeah, that's true. I had to make a pretend vacation for one of my school projects, so I was able to get into more details, but honestly, that I'm not very good at concretely planning things. You often think about what you should have said in a conversation long after it's taken place. Yeah, I'm pretty insecure and have a lot of social anxiety, and that's like not a good thing. If your friend is sad about something, your first instinct is to support them emotionally, not try to solve their problem. Yeah, because honestly, that I don't often really even understand the base motivations of someone else, you know. It's not always the same between me and someone else, and it may just feel like I'm blaming them. And honestly, I don't know how to solve people's problems. So people can rarely upset you. That's not true. My self esteem is pretty shit. You often rely on other people to be the ones to start a conversation and keep it going. Um, that can be true, I guess. If I'm talking about something I'm interested in, you know, I have to try not to bore people because I tend to ramble about uh stuff. But if I don't know what to talk about, then yeah, I guess so. If you have to temporarily put your plans on hold, you make sure it is your top priority to get back on track as soon as possible. No, I can get like off track for a long, long time. You rarely worry if you made a good impression on someone you met. No, I have a lot of anxiety and I end up like being very awkward because there's like something else, like some form of OCD bothering me. It would be a challenge for you to spend the whole weekend all by yourself without feeling bored. No. You're more of a detail oriented person than a big picture person. Uh, yeah, I agree, but sometimes my attention gets scattered. So yeah, you're very affectionate with people you care about. Yeah, I have like only a few very close friends. You have a careful and methodical approach to life. No. You're still bothered by the mistakes you made a long time ago. Yeah, I have like all sorts of anxiety. At parties and similar events, you can mostly be found farther away from the action. Uh, it depends. You often find it difficult to relate to people who let their emotions guide them. No, I mean, I don't think there are people that don't let their emotions guide them. People are emotional by nature. When looking for a movie to watch, you can spend ages browsing the catalog. No. Uh, that's always a big problem. People don't know what they want to watch on Netflix, but if I'm paying for Netflix, I know what I'm interested in. I'm not going to turn on Netflix unless I know beforehand what I want to watch. You can stay calm under a lot of pressure. Actually, my life has given me a lot of circumstances where I've actually stood um surprisingly strong under pressure, even though I have a lot of anxiety and stuff, and other times like little things get to me, so I'm gonna lightly agree. When in a group of people you do not know, you have no problem jumping right into their conversation. Uh, Not really. When you sleep, your dreams tend to be bizarre and fantastical. Yes, I had a dream that there was this scientist that was trying to breed chimpanzees, like selectively breed them, to be more like humans, and he was doing it on this boat that he inherited from his grandfather, his great grandfather, and his great grandfather started doing this because he was a fan of Charles Darwin. In your opinion, it is sometimes okay to step on others to get ahead in life. Yeah, I agree. Uh, I think that your happiness is the most important thing above all else, but I also believe in trying to do the right thing. You are dedicated and focused on your goals, only rarely getting sidetracked. No. If you make a mistake, you tend to start doubting yourself, your abilities, or your knowledge. Now, I'm not this super rational person that always weighs things objectively, but I do have a lot of self doubt. When at a social event, you rarely try to introduce yourself to new people, mostly talk to the ones you know. I tend to stick to the same people, but I can be very attention grabbing and kind of charm new people if it's not awkward. So yeah, you usually lose interest in a discussion when it gets philosophical. Actually, I talk about abstract shit all the times, and you have to avoid doing it in public. When other people start talking about that sort of stuff, um, it's like finally my chance to be myself. And even though I try to avoid it, I can't help myself. So I'm gonna disagree. You would never let yourself cry in front of others? Uh, True. It's not that I can always succeed, and I've never cried in front of people, and I try not to be too judgmental, but I don't want to be weak in front of other people, and I tend to try to handle my own personal shit at home. You feel more drawn to places with bustling and busy atmospheres. No. You like discussing different views and theories on what the world could look like in the future. Yeah. When it comes to making life changing choices, you mostly listen to your heart rather than your head. I would mostly agree, but I have a lot of self doubt. You not imagine yourself dedicating your life to the study of something you cannot see, touch, or experience. I disagree. Okay, you usually prefer to get your revenge rather than forgive. I used to be really against the idea of forgiveness, and my ideas have gotten a lot more nuanced, but mostly because of like the kind of you know kind of the because I associated it with the mentality of Christianity and the things about it that both make it worse than like a religion like Islam and a religion like Buddhism at the same time. Like it can't decide what it wants to be, and it ends up not having the kind of militancy of like certain religions or the peace of another religion. It both manages to be oppressive and kind of weak-minded. And I don't like this idea of turn the other cheek, or bowing down to authorities or letting people step on you. So I'm gonna mostly agree, but at the same time, that I'm not the guy who believes like in free will. I believe in I'm fatalistic. I believe that if I were another person, I would do the exact same thing that they did. If I lived their life and had the exact same circumstances. So I'm gonna mostly agree. You often make decisions on a whim. Uh, kind of, but I have a lot of self-doubt. The time you spend by yourself often ends up being more interesting and satisfying than the time you spend with other people. Agree. You often put special effort into interpreting the real meaning or message of a song or movie. Sometimes, but not everything has to have a meaning or teach what the deeper meaning just comes from how it makes you feel. You always know exactly what you want. For certain things, I can be a stubborn asshole. For other things, I'm unsure. You rarely think back on the choices you made and wonder what you could have done differently. I highly disagree. When in a public place, you usually stick to quieter and less crowded areas. I agree. You tend to focus on present realities rather than future possibilities. No, I hate being limited. You often have a hard time understanding people's feelings. This is true, but I try to understand, or try to think like what could be motivating that other person. When starting to work on a project, you prefer to make as many decisions up front as possible. I get uncomfortable because I can just end up letting a project get out of hand and not work on it. But I wouldn't really say that's true. When you know someone thinks highly of you, you also wonder how long it would be until they become disappointed in you. Yeah. You feel comfortable just walking up to someone you find interesting and striking up a conversation. No, I feel a lot of anxiety doing that. You often drift away into daydreaming about various ideas or scenarios. That's true even when I'm working. You look after yourself first and others come in second. Yes. Even when you planned a particular daily routine, you usually just end up doing what you feel like at any given moment. Yeah. Yeah, my mood also is like kind of like this unstable weather or like unpredictable climate. And I often can't see past you often contemplate the meanings for human existence or the meaning of life. Yeah, I get very depressed and I feel like my life is meaningless, and I try to find meaning in like art and creation and expressing myself. You often talk about your own feelings and emotions. Yeah. You've got a detailed education or career development plan stretching several years into the future. No. You rarely dwell on your regrets. That's not true. Spending time in a dynamic atmosphere with lots of people around quickly makes you feel drained and in need of a getaway. Yes. You see yourself more of a realist than a visionary. No, and that may be a problem that I'm not really realistic enough. You find it easy to empathize with a person who has gone through something you never have. I try to be understanding towards people who are different than me, but I'm not always good at it. Your personal work style is closer to spontaneous bursts of energy than organized and consistent efforts. Yeah. Your emotions control you more than you control them. Yeah. After a long and exhausting week, a fun party is just what you need. It depends. sometimes I need introspection or to work on a personal project or whatever. You frequently find yourself wondering how technological advancement could change everyday life. Yeah, like, what if we had technology that prevented you from getting fat, or made it towards you didn't have to use the bathroom, or made it towards that you could take drugs without getting addicted, or smoke without getting lung cancer? Yeah. And this type of idea often gives me anxiety because of the limitations on my everyday life. You always consider how your actions might affect other people before doing something. Not really. Kind of a selfish asshole. Yeah. You still honor the commitments you have made, even if you have a change of heart. It depends. You rarely feel insecure. Your gender, male. God, I'm like I'm like kind of nervous to see my results. I know it's going to be something different, or I'm pretty sure. Wow, shit. I still got the same result. Okay, so yeah, I'm 75% introverted. Uh, that's self-explanatory. Intuitive versus observant. So this trait shows where we direct our mental energy, more feeling. This trait reflects our approach to work, planning, and decision making, prospecting. So, prospecting, if I understand, is like in in the, you know, in the moment, rather than, I'm not exactly sure. Uh, I would look up these letters if you can, and so yeah. Actually, so the last letter is assertive versus turbulent. So I'm 94% turbulent. It used to be like 100% turbulent, and that kind of means essentially that, not having this sense of self love kind of means that in a way I'm very narcissistic. I've improved, and I think I've become more gentle with myself. So yeah, I really thought I was going to be different this time, but the test was pretty consistent. So anyways, this was fun. See y'all later. Bye bye. So I'm going to do a little bit of a self jerk off essentially and read about my personality type. And when I last read this article, that I felt pretty understood. Um, this introduction paragraph, I don't think does the personality type, doesn't fully go into it, and there's some vital things missing. But I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm just going to share the, top part. I would encourage you, if you would like, to take the test yourself. This is a pretty fun test. The personality types are very interesting. So if you want to read about your own personality type after taking the test, the link is in the description below. So yeah, and I would take a look at all the personality types in general. So, anyways, on the outside, mediators may seem quiet or even shy, but they often have vibrant, passionate inner lives. Because they make up such a small portion of the population, people with this personality type may sometimes feel misunderstood or out of step with the world. Fortunately, their caring nature can help them create and sustain deep relationships with their loved ones. Mediators value authenticity, empathy, and harmony. These personalities tend to act with the best of intentions, and they are rightly proud of this trait. That said, they may feel isolated or discouraged when other people don't share their idealism. All that is gold does not glitter. Not all those who wander are lost. The old that is strong does not wither. Deep roots are not reached by the frost. So, Yeah, there's so yeah, they said they usually indicate how much of the world's population each of these types are. Uh, I'm I don't actually see the number here. I think it was like 4% of the world's population, but yeah, there's some people that match this personality type. I really love J.R. Tolkien. A very awesome writer, paid great attention to detail. So yeah, Shakespeare. I haven't read that many of his plays. I've gone over them in English class. His stuff is pretty interesting. You can really kind of make an awesome story structure, restructure an old thing, and kind of retell it in this kind of interesting way. You know, so Tom Hiddleston. So like that guy who plays Loki, I don't know who Bjork is or Alicia Keys. The name of Bjork, yeah, kind of weird. So yeah, sorry this video was so long, but yeah, have a great day, everyone.